Namaskar. Thank you for joining us here on DD India Sports Buzz. All the action from the Cricket World Cup, which is reaching its final stages, and the curtain coming down on the national games and other stories. Let's begin first with the news in bold. New Zealand are all but in the semi-finals of the Cricket World Cup after making mincemeat of Sri Lanka in a one-sided encounter. Surprise package Afghanistan look to end their World Cup campaign on a high, but they seem to be finding the going tough against South Africa and Ahmedabad. The father of the Liverpool football star Luis Díaz, who was kidnapped 2 weeks ago, has been freed by his captors, Colombia's National Liberation Army. Now let's begin with all the updates from the Cricket World Cup. New Zealand returned to winning ways at the World Cup following a 4-match slump as they defeated Sri Lanka by 5 wickets at the Chinnaswamy Stadium on Thursday. Now, victory left New Zealand on 10 points and in pole position to bag the last semi-final berth. They're joining India, South Africa and Australia. Pakistan will now need to beat England by a huge margin to leapfrog New Zealand on net run rate.
More of a certain, the picture of the 4 semi-finalists of the Cricket World Cup 2023 is almost clear now. Thursday was a momentous occasion for 3 teams involved in the semi-final race, one that was playing, New Zealand, and the 2 that were not, Pakistan and Afghanistan. By the end of the evening, New Zealand all but ended the race and have one foot set in the semi-final following a thumping 5-wicket win over Sri Lanka. The massive win means Pakistan needs to defeat England by a margin of 287 or more runs if they bat first. Or if they bowl first, they have to skittle out England for 50 runs and chase the target in 2.3 overs. Unless they achieve this outlandish equation, India will face New Zealand in the repeat of the 2019 World Cup semi-final at the Wankhede Stadium on Wednesday. As Bengaluru woke up to steady rain in the morning, New Zealand's hopes appeared bleak, but soon when they arrived in the stadium in the noon, sun peeked out at the right time and set up an ideal ambience for New Zealand, who needed a bit of luck to smile on them. After near misses, few close defeats and weather, this was an afternoon where everything went New Zealand's way from the moment Kane Williamson won the toss and elected to bowl first, keeping an eye on the Duckworth-Lewis. For Sri Lanka, who too had much at stake as they are yet to confirm their berth in the Champions Trophy, this was a game that summarized their World Cup campaign. New Zealand bowlers ran through their top order and regular blows meant they finished their innings early, putting up a paltry 171 on the board. Chasing the small target, New Zealand's intentions were clear: to finish it as early as possible and ensure the net run rate gets beyond the reach of Pakistan and Afghanistan. Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra paved the way, stitching together 86 runs before the former dismissed in the 13th over. While Rachin too perished an over later, the rest of the Kiwi batting lineup maintained the tempo as they got home in the 24th over with 5 wickets in hand. This win has all but confirmed the 4 semi-finalists, unless Pakistan does something which has never happened before.
Well, New Zealand pacer Trent Boult has expressed hope on Thursday that the aggressive style of play by India might present an opportunity for the Kiwis to halt the host's impressive winning streak. He was speaking at a post-match press conference, and he said, and I quote, "India are playing a positive style of cricket, and I suppose playing shots does present chances, but we're going to be very clear with how we're going to tackle that game." Boult expressed evident excitement at the prospect of facing India in the semi-finals, especially in the latter's home ground. The potential meeting sets the stage for a rematch of the 2019 semi-final clash between the 2 sides that happened in Manchester, and the Kiwis had emerged victorious by 18 runs in that match. I think that there'll be a lot of excitement and the prospect of that challenge, and I said it doesn't get any bigger than this. Taking on India in front of 1.5 billion people, yeah, it's very exciting to come up against the host nation, a team that's red hot, playing good cricket. You couldn't script it any better. That's Trent Boult for you. And Bolt highlighted that while not dwelling on the past outcome, the experience gained from playing against India earlier in the tournament would be beneficial for New Zealand. Bolt emphasized that this experience would serve them well if the two sides meet in the semi-finals. Here's another quote of Trent Bolt. We played India in a lot of times. Quality players know these conditions very well. History suggests that it's a good wicket at the Wankhede, and yeah, nice to have come up against them in Dharamshala. It was a totally different ground and different facilities, but yeah, we'll turn our focus to that challenge. Pressure does things to the best of players at any time, so just look forward to taking that on. Now, Sri Lanka's coach Chris Silverwood said that inconsistency cost their team dear in the World Cup, as his team suffered a 7th defeat in 9 matches at the 50-over tournament format. And Sri Lanka, they have been eliminated from the semi-final contention. Moreover, they are struggling to qualify also for the Champions Trophy, which is going to be held in Pakistan in 2025. Silver said, and I quote, I think inconsistency, I think it would be fair to use that word. I think we've played some good cricket along the way, and I think we'll look back on certain games and rue missed opportunities. To be honest, there have been certain games during this campaign that we'd have taken the opportunities that were put our way. This could have looked a lot different, but the fact is that we have been inconsistent. Frank display there. Now, Afghanistan are facing South Africa currently at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, and the Afghanistan captain Hashmatullah Shahidi had won the toss and chosen to bat first. This is a must-win clash for them, and by a huge margin if they have to try and get to the semi-finals technically, but that's improbable. The improbable task of winning the game by a margin of 438 runs to reach the semi-finals. But the Afghans are level on points with Pakistan and have the poorest of the run rates. At least they played very well in this tournament. Afghanistan lost their chance to qualify when they lost to Australia, courtesy one of the greatest innings in World Cup history by Glenn Maxwell. An unusual victory there for Australia, 201 runs by one man, and the 108 for 4 wickets after 27 overs. And South Africa at number 2 in the points table with 12 points. They lost to India by 243 runs and will be playing Australia in the second semi-final at the Eden Gardens on Thursday. In fact, we hear that Afghanistan has lost their 5th wicket as well, so it's pretty tough going for them. Now, Australia will be looking to maintain their momentum ahead of the knockout stages when they tackle a Bangladesh side already out of the race in the semi-final places. Australia have now won 6 matches on the trot at the World Cup and will be keen to make it 7 in a row prior to a cutthroat semi-final with South Africa next week. Openers David Warner and Travis Head missed out against Afghanistan last start and will be keen to put up a big score, while the in-form spinner Adam Zampa has the lure of becoming the leading wicket taker at the tournament if he can register another big haul. While out of contention for the semi-final berth, Bangladesh can move closer to ensuring qualification for the Champions Trophy tournament in 2025 with a win here. Their task will not be easy though, with the inspirational skipper Shakib Al Hassan sidelined with a finger issue, as well as the likes of the stand-in skipper Najmul Hossain Shanto. They will need to step up in his absence. Okay, time to look at the points table now. So this is it, and we can see that India has won every match they played, 16 points, massive net run rate. South Africa is in the 2nd spot, 6 wins, 2 losses. Australia, 6 wins, 2 losses. Catching up on South Africa, and New Zealand makes the 4th position with 10 points. Pakistan and Afghanistan have a game to play each. They can also reach 10 points technically. Now, India's campaign at the ICC Cricket World Cup has been exemplary, as the hosts have won 8 out of 8 of all their matches. India's victory march has been aided by the tremendous form of batters, pacers, spinners. India's played well in all departments. India has reached the semi-final in an emphatic manner. Pratik Singh puts it into context.
India's domination in the ICC World Cup continues as it has crushed opponents in its wake. Men in blue, as they are fondly called, are invincible so far, winning 8 out of their 8 matches. As a result, they have qualified for semi-final. Batters like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and KL Rahul have dominated the proceedings. Pacers such as Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Sami and Mohammad Siraj have demolished opponents to paltry totals, while spin duo of Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja have bewildered rivals with their guile and accuracy. Indians have stamped their authority, but the beginning wasn't easy. They had a shocking start against Australia. 3 of their top 4 batsmen fell for duck, but Kohli and Rahul guided them to a 6-wicket victory. In the following encounters against Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh and New Zealand, India cruised to victory. However, defending champion England put the Indian batters under duress, restricting the host for 229 runs. But Bumrah and Sami saved India from blushes, as 2019 winners were skittled out for 129 runs. Indian caravan moved to Mumbai for match against Sri Lanka. India notched up a formidable total of 357 runs. In reply, Sri Lanka crumbled to one of the lowest totals in the ODI history, scoring only 55 runs. Indian pacer Mohammad Sami ran amok, grabbing 5 wickets in 5 overs only. The match against South Africa, which was billed as the Clash of Titans, turned out to be lopsided. Proteas were bowled out for paltry 83 runs while chasing India's mammoth total of 326 runs. Wrecker-in-chief was Ravindra Jadeja, who ran through their middle order, taking 5 scalps. This match was also special for Kohli, as he equalled Sachin Tendulkar's record of 49 centuries in one-day internationals. As tournament progresses, Indian fans would hope for the host's dream run to continue. Pratik Singh, DD India.
The 37th edition of the National Games in Goa came to a close with a glittering ceremony at the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium in Panaji. On Thursday, the National Games began in Goa on the 26th of October. More than 10,000 Indian athletes competed, and they competed in 42 disciplines.
The 37th edition of National Games concluded in a glittering closing ceremony in Goa on Thursday. India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Chief Minister of Goa Pramod Sawant and Indian Olympic Association President PT Usha were among the host dignitaries who attended the closing ceremony. Maharashtra topped the medal tally with a total number of 228 medals, which also included 80 gold, 69 silver medals and 79 bronze medals. Services secured second position while Haryana grabbed the third position. The games, which were held from the 26th of October to 9th of November, witnessed the participation of more than 10,000 athletes from across the country who competed in over 43 sports disciplines across 28 venues. Addressing the gathering, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar congratulated the athletes for putting up a spectacular performance.
I congratulate all the winners. But let me tell you, my young friends, every participant is a winner. This is mini India. Your 15 days must have been most memorable time of your life. You would have had the occasion to interact with your friends, north, south, east, west.
This time, coastal rowing was included for the first time. Beach handball also made a comeback in this edition. Along with this, the game of taekwondo also made a comeback in this edition of the National Games. Indian Olympic Association's President PT Usha, in her address, expressed her happiness on the successful conclusion of 37th edition of National Games.
This year's National Games have been truly exceptional in every sense. We witnessed a remarkable display of talent, dedication and passion with a record-breaking number of 43 sports. Expansion of sporting disciplines not only demonstrate the growth and diversity of sports in our nation, but also offers our athletes an even broader stage to showcase their abilities.
The next edition of National Games will be held in Uttarakhand. With every passing year, India is witnessing a rapid growth in sporting landscape. On the other hand, the players are also enjoying the level of exposure that they are getting through events like National Games, Khelo India Games and various other government initiatives.
The 37th National Games in Goa came to an end with a glittering closing ceremony. Goa has set a high benchmark with hosting the biggest edition of the National Games successfully. Now it is the turn of Uttarakhand to host the next National Games and to set a new benchmark. With camera person Sumit Dhiman, this is Suchitra reporting for DD India from Goa.
Indian swimmer Srihari Nataraj, who comes from Karnataka, bagged the Best Male Athlete trophy at the 37th National Games. He won a total of 10 medals, which included 8 gold medals, 1 silver and a bronze. And he was handed the trophy by the IOA President, P.T. Usha. DD India correspondent Suchitra had an exclusive interaction with him. Let's listen.
How will you describe your overall experience of participating in the National Games?
Came in with a lot of events after the Asian Games, was kind of exhausted and lacked motivation to compete, but once I got to the games and once the first couple of days got done and after a couple of good races, I started finding the excitement of the tournament and the games, and I had a lot of fun competing.
How did you find the facilities and what do you have to say about Goa as the venue?
I mean, I've actually swam the same pool exactly 10 years ago in my sub-junior nationals in 2013. So I knew the pool, how it's going to be coming in. They did make a few renovations and changes to the pool, and it's a fast pool. Goa is always good for swimmers. The pool is fast, and we always swim well in Goa, so it's been a good meet.
What's it about the swimmers, taking the most medals and performing really well in the National Games?
I think we have a lot of events to compete in, and we try to swim as many events as we can to support our state, and that helps us get the best athletes and puts it in our favor.
What is your next target? What are you next looking for?
It's good. It's a trophy that was missing from my collection, and now I have it. And now I'm going to take a small break, and then once I get back into training, it's time to qualify for Paris.
And what message would you like to give to the upcoming swimmers in India?
I mean, just have fun at the end of the day. It's a game, and have fun, be passionate about it, and be honest with your efforts, and then the results will show up.
Srihari Nataraj has just won the Best Male Athlete trophy in the 37th National Games, and he will take a break now and then focus on his upcoming tournaments. With camera person Sumit Dhiman, this is Suchitra reporting for DD India from Goa.
And to give a boost to India's indigenous sports, Gutka, which in fact was included in India's national games as a demonstration sport. It's a traditional Sikh martial art, and it's a style of fighting using wooden sticks. It originated in the 15th century and has undergone a revival in the 20th century. It's now performed as a sword dance event at various Sikh festivals. Let's take a look at this story of Suchitra's.
Gutka, a traditional Sikh martial art, is included in the 37th National Games as a demonstration sport. Players practicing this martial art form for years are elated that finally Gutka is getting popular pan-India and it will take the sport to new heights.
I have playing this game since last 10 years. So being a player of Gutka, I am feeling very, very proud that Gutka has been included in Goa Nationals, in 37th National Games of India, and this is for the very first time, and being here I am feeling very proud.
Combat sports are an instant hit with the spectators. The school children who came to watch the games were totally enjoying watching the game and also expressed the desire to learn the art form.
I had come first time to see National Games. I am feeling very proud that National Games are in our Goa. I am excited to see and I will like to play also.
Gutka Federation of India is happy with the kind of support Gutka is getting from the government now.
आपको ये बताना चाहूँगा कि अभी ये गेम खेलो इंडिया में आ चुका है. इस बार थर्ड टाइम खेला जाएगा खेलो इंडिया में, एंड दिस ईयर हमने SGFI में स्कूल गेम्स फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया में इसको इंक्लूड करवा दिया है. नेशनल में इस बार डेमो बेस पे है. डेफिनेटली अगले साल ये मेडल टैली में आ जाएगा. तो अगला टारगेट हमारा एशिया कप और वर्ल्ड कप का है.
It is important to popularize and practice traditional sports like Gutka, as they are an integral part of the Indian culture.
It is a part of government's initiative to popularize our traditional sports, and it will ultimately lead to this sport getting popular and more players taking part in it. With camera person Sumit Dhiman, this is Suchitra reporting for DD India from Goa.
Well, the father of the Liverpool football star Luis Díaz, who was kidnapped 2 weeks ago, has been freed by Colombia's National Liberation Army. Díaz's father was seen at an airstrip in the city of Valledupar, and this is after he descended from a helicopter. Luis Manuel Díaz's kidnapping disrupted the government's peace talks with the rebels. The talks had restarted last year with the hope of ending Colombia's 60-year conflict. The conflict has killed at least 450,000 people. The two sides began a 6-month ceasefire in August. The insurgent group said a week ago that it would free Díaz's father, but then there was a back and forth between the group and the government that made things a little uncertain. And the family and friends cheered. They shed tears of joy as the Liverpool soccer player Luis Díaz's father, Luis Manuel Díaz, arrived at his home in the town of Barranacas. This happened Thursday, hours after he was freed. A Colombian army video showed Díaz getting out of a vehicle, visibly moved as he was reunited with his family. The elder Luis Díaz was snatched on the 28th of October in Barranacas, which is a rural municipality where he lives in the northern province of La Guardia. And here are the visuals.
It's an immense excitement. We are very excited. We spent many days with uncertainty, sleepless days. We are happy today. We are happy that we saw him on the video call, and he might not be in the condition we want him to be, but he is fine. He is alive.
Al Ahly surrendered a 2-0 lead in the Saudi Pro League on Thursday and drew 2-2 to Damak in Abha. The visitors opened the scoring in the 10th minute. This is from a corner as the defender Abdul Basit Hindi rose the highest to head home. Sumhayan Al-Nabit then made it 2 just before the break. He put the finishing touch on a silky run from the former Manchester City winger Riyad Mahrez. Damak captain Farooq Shafai pulled one back for the hosts against their star-studded opponents with 15 minutes to go before the former Al Ahly forward and Romanian international Nicolae Stanusi bagged the equalizer to deny his former club all 3 points. The Argentine coach Diego Simeone has extended his contract with Atletico Madrid. This is until 2027. The 53-year-old has led Atletico in 642 games, which is a club record, and he guided them to 8 trophies this season, since his arrival, in fact not this season, since his arrival in 2011. It included 2 league titles, 1 Copa del Rey, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 European Super Cups and 1 Spanish Super Cup. He also had 2 spells as a midfielder with the Madrid side, this making 167 appearances. He scored 30 goals as well. The English Premier League club Burnley said that the striker Lyle Foster will be sidelined indefinitely due to a recurrence of a mental health issue. The South African international is in the care of specialists after he told the Premier League club that he had a recurrence of issues around his mental well-being. The 23-year-old has scored 3 goals in 8 appearances for Burnley this season and he has earned 10 caps for the South African national team. What's happened is that the club are second from the bottom. They're second bottom in the Premier League with 4 points. This is after 11 matches. They travel to Arsenal on Saturday. And that's the Sports Buzz. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.